Morning everybody, Joe Martin, the Metalhead here. I hope you're all going well. It's not even 6 o'clock and I'm outside Victoria Station. I'm heading out to Southampton today and I'm pretty certain that it'll also be to Isle of Wight. Yes, I haven't been back to Southampton in 2 years. I haven't seen the shoreline of the United Kingdom since I was in Wales last December. And this is the third time I've left London in the last 2 months. So I'm doing a vlog in Southampton on Benny Hill today, and in the afternoon I'll be on the Isle of Wight doing a vlog on Razzle from Hanoi Rocks where he's buried. So let's go now. Okay, so it's not even 6 o'clock now. And my bus leaves at 6:30 and pretty much nothing's open. I was quite shocked that McDonald's at Victoria train station wasn't open. So I thought, oh, maybe if I come here, Greg's or Starbucks or some other coffee shop will be open, but it doesn't seem like they're open until 6. I just remember back in the day Starbucks used to be open all the time here. That's why they had to keep Victoria's bus station open. On the bus now. Gonna leave at 6:30. Only a few people heading out of Southampton this morning. It's okay. I kind of felt like I had to take this bus because it was the cheapest, at like £5 a ticket. Yeah. So we'll get to Southampton at 9 o'clock today. So I've made it to Southampton now. Just going to get myself some breakfast. Just after 9 o'clock now. Yeah. I don't always like travelling on National Express, mainly because, you know, their system is a little bit screwy. Like, I've just been to this ticket machine down at the office, put on my ticket number in case my phone goes flat, just to print out a paper copy of my ticket, and unfortunately the system keeps on saying error. Try different machines, same thing. So normally I tend to go for Megabus if I can because it's much cheaper, but National Express tends to have like a better route because there are no Megabuses that actually go to Southampton, and this bus trip has only cost me £11 return. This is as long as I get back to, you know, Southampton tonight with a fully charged phone or a paper copy of my ticket. Now, I've been to Southampton a few times in my life. First time I came here was May 2016. I came here after a trip to Guernsey, where I went from Poole to Bournemouth, and then Bournemouth to Southampton, and it was like early morning hours. I would end up back at Southampton again in December 2017, after a trip to Malta, where I flew back to Bournemouth Airport, and I basically was supposed to go to Southampton to get on a bus to Oxford, but I stupidly booked the bus the wrong date, so I had to pay a lot of money to get from Southampton back to London. The last time I came here, I spent the night in Southampton after my trip to Guernsey, and that was July 2019. I was supposed to come here in December last year, but unfortunately that tier 4 thing cancelled it. Like, I was supposed to come here for the day, go look at Benny Hill's grave, and also go to Isle of Wight, and you know, get back to like London all in a day. But I'm quite glad that I'm now here in Southampton, but I've never really wanted to like live here myself. I've always preferred to like live in London. So I've just had my breakfast at Greg's, got myself an omelette roll, or what I call in the Midlands a bap, latte, and some Yum Yums, which is like twisted donuts, all for £3.30. So quite good, decent price. I mean, McDonald's would charge the same for a egg McMuffin meal, even though these days I don't like having eggs because, you know, I'm vegetarian. Well, I wouldn't call myself a vegan though. I'm definitely not going to ever go hardcore vegan in my opinion. But I swear to God that I will not be drinking cow's milk. Even though it's kind of hard to resist McFlurries. So I'm on the 17 Blue bus, asked for a day ticket, and it only cost £3.70. Like, can you believe how last week when I was in Manchester, right, I stupidly forgot to use my day ticket and I spent £3 to get from Manchester to Salford. So if you live here in Southampton, your day tickets are damn cheap, much cheaper than what Birmingham has or any other major cities. I mean, I don't like to compare this with London. I mean, with London, I only pay over £3 a day to get from my house in the east to my job in the east as well. So I'm going to be going up to the hospital, and we're going to start filming closer to once I get to the cemetery. Now, Benny Hill died in 1992 in London of a heart attack, but he was born in Southampton in the 1920s, so it's quite fitting that he is buried here in Southampton. I was just watching his obituary they had on YouTube. The 6 o'clock news had played during the time of his death, and they basically said a lot of his jokes at the time, in like the 60s, 70s and 80s, they were a bit like sexist, and the type of things Benny Hill did back then, like having a duck come out of his fly and nick a woman's lunch, that would not be appropriate these days in all of the whole cancel culture thing. But what I clearly remember Benny Hill from most is his appearance in Genesis Anything She Does music video. I mean, Genesis, they never ever play anything she does like live, mainly because, you know, it needs some like a trombone section or a brass section. So he's in the video where basically he's supposed to guard the backstage area and keep it clean for Genesis, but then a whole bunch of groupies come inside and ruin the whole like backstage area. So in a reversal thing, he's able to piece the cake back together and all. But people outside of Britain, they tend to know the whole Benny Hill thing from his TV show, like the Benny Hill Chase, you know, with that wacky saxophone. You've seen this parodied so many times in The Simpsons. Like, let's just say, remember that one episode where Flanders, he dates that movie star, and she brings over the author of Richard Jones's diary, and so they do a whole Benny Hill like chase where she's getting chased by the police and then she's chasing them back, like Benny Hill style like that. I've gotten off the bus now, and I'm just making my way to Oxford Road, as I should be getting to the cemetery in 5 minutes time. I could have stayed on the bus a bit longer. I thought, oh, it's a nice day. It may rain again, doesn't really matter that much. I stupidly left my umbrella on the bus this morning, so I'll just have to get back to Savers later on at lunchtime to pick up another umbrella before I get to Isle of Wight. The street I'm walking on is actually called Coxford, not Oxford. Like, you know, combination of Cox and Ford, or Cox for, you know, Oxford. I was considering going to Oxford today, do the vlog, but I thought, man, the £17 on that bus is probably not really worth it, even if it's a day ticket. I'd like to see if I could go much cheaper than £17. Fortunately, I can't, because all the train fares to Oxford are always damn overpriced. Southampton Hospital is on my right hand side. I'm walking down Tremola Road, so the cemetery isn't far away. Yep, this looks like the entrance to a cemetery, and it's open today. So Find a Grave hasn't told me the specific plot that Benny Hill is buried in. Normally some pages basically tell you what area of the cemetery you gotta look for, but as far as I know, that Benny Hill's grave is a flat stone, and he's buried with his parents, so it shouldn't take me far to find. Normally my tip into finding a famous person's grave is basically just to find the grave with the most flowers. I've said that many times in previous vlogs. Unfortunately, Find a Grave has no information about where in the cemetery Benny Hill is. All it just shows his photographs. And neither does the cemetery website. Sometimes you think, oh, maybe I could just go onto the council's website and they'll be able to tell me. It's not happening on that website. So I need to backtrack a bit and try to find the office and maybe someone could tell me where he's buried. Because I've pretty much been sticking to the roads. I haven't really done much searching. I've just been looking in the distance, trying to find if there's any flat headstones. Just to show you an example of a tombstone I'm looking for, this is a similar type of tombstone that Benny Hill is buried underneath. Basically just a flat slab of marble. So I believe I've got to start looking for flat slabs of marbles all around this area. No sign of finding Benny Hill, but I have found the cross of sacrifice over there. So I'm 100% certain that section is for Commonwealth war graves, even though there are plenty more scattered around the cemetery. So this is the Commonwealth war grave section in Southampton Cemetery. I think it's mostly British, but if you find one over there, that man is from the Dutch Army. He died in 1940, so he died just after Dunkirk. Most of these men have a date of 44, like December. Like these ones are December. Oh yes, and also we do have a few Polish servicemen buried here. So there's one over there and one over there. So when you're coming to the cemetery, you've got to look for K4, section K4 on the map. I spoke to a lady in the office nearby, and she told me that Benny Hill was in section K4. So this here is K3. So I believe Benny Hill's section should be just around here somewhere at K4. Anybody coming to the cemetery in Southampton to visit Benny Hill, all you got to do, walk down this road right here, down, you got to look for K5. So you have to find these stained glass windows right here, and then turn around, and then the grave of Benny Hill is right here. And you know, what can I say? It's the most adorned grave in the cemetery, I believe. People have left flowers, they've left poppies because he served in World War II. And he's buried with his parents, so they're like Alfred Hawthorne Hill, who died in 1972, aged 78. His wife Helen Florence, who died 4 years later in 1976. And reunited with Southampton's Benny Hill, born Alfred Hawthorne Hill. So he took the same name as his father. Comedian, son, brother, friend, our boy eternal. God bless. You see, I didn't want to play the music from my iPhone in case, you know, my video gets demonetized. But most videos of me visiting graves are already demonetized. So as I'm leaving behind the cemetery, I just wanted to let you all know that it's very easy to find Benny Hill's grave. all you gotta look for is K5. You gotta look for the big church and the big marble stone, and you won't be like, you know, wasting hours of your life trying to walk around the cemetery. So just keep up, it's K5. And you can get a bus up here, like either number 17 or the number 3, that will drop you outside the hospital, and you'll be in walking distance from the cemetery yard. So this concludes part 1 of today's vlog. Part 2 will be me visiting Razzle's grave in the Isle of Wight today, and I hope you enjoy the next video. Take care, look after yourself. Mike the Metalhead, over and out.